Hey guys, welcome back to Real Anime Training. I'm the Anime Trainer, and today we are going to finish up the How to Make a Real Anime Training workout with Guts daily routine. We're going to finish that up. A while ago, we made that Real Anime Training workout with you guys on the air, and now we're going to show the entire workout. So, let's get into it. Guts has a massive amount of strength, ungodly levels of endurance, and a tenacity that just will not quit. He's built this up through years of hard training, labor, and battlefield experience. The type of daily activities that a soldier in Guts' position would perform would go a long way to improve his physical strength and constitution, especially since Guts was performing the duties of a man since a very young age. He's used to swinging a sword that is bigger than he is, as he used a regular-sized sword as a child. As he grew, he decided that he'd like to keep the sword large, and so, as an adult, he used a sword that was a lot bigger than a normal sword. But, because he was used to it, he could still use it with lightning speed. It was that daily use that increased his strength to monumental, monstrous proportions. This workout is designed to emulate the things that Guts would do on a daily basis, but would not be the entirety of Guts training. This would include practicing with his sword, collecting firewood, moving supplies, climbing to store food in trees or hide out, and tying things off with a rope or pulling a horse's lead. It's going to build strength throughout the entire body through repetition, power movements, and manipulating awkward weights. The first exercise is controlled sledgehammer sword swings. We're going to start with an 8 to 10 pound sledge, and you've got some variations to make things a little less difficult. But once you get comfortable with the basics, there are some things we can do to make it just a tad harder. We're going to start with 100 of them. I want you guys to do 50 on each side. Now, after you get comfortable with doing 50 on each side with the grip further down the handle, I want you guys to do 100 on each side. When 100 on each side becomes comfortable, move the sledgehammer up in weight slightly. You can move it from an 8-pounder to a 10-pounder, or from a 10-pounder to a 12-pounder. You can even increase the difficulty by using a sledgehammer with a slightly longer handle. There are a lot of ways to make this more difficult, so don't worry, you will not run out of gains to chase here. This is going to build strong arms, shoulders, core, and back muscles. Trust me, you will feel it. Next, we've got power axe swings. These are axe swings with everything you've got in every strike. You're going to swing down with your arms and forcefully contract your abdominals and your lats to really drive that axe in. Don't worry about how quickly you do it, just swing it full force. Reset and go again. Once again, we're looking for 100 swings, 50 on each side. You can eventually move it up to 100 on each side, but make sure that you are able to swing the axe with high force on every strike. Barely swinging the axe isn't going to do much for you. And since this is a power movement, just focus on swinging the axe as hard as you can. The progression will come naturally. The next exercise is speed chopping. So we're going to focus on making contact as many times as possible for the allotted time. We want to do 20 seconds of all-out effort followed by 10 seconds of rest. 8 rounds total for about 4 minutes of work. We're going to switch sides on every round. You're going to be very, very winded after this.
The next exercise is a log lift and carry. So you can do this in a lot of different ways. You can see here I just sort of did like a log clean, and then I've got it in a zercher position, which means it's in the crux of my elbows, and then you carry it for a distance and drop it. You can see here I'm using a little bit of a different grip to pick the log up, more of a deadlift grip, and then I transition to the clean, and then I'm carrying it in that same position to walk forward. You can also pick it up on your shoulder. You see I'm squatting here, getting it on my shoulder, and then picking it up, and then I'm walking forward with it on my shoulder with both hands on it to make sure that it doesn't roll. And then when you get to the end, you can just kind of shrug it off to the side. When you do that, make sure that you do it on both sides so you're not just doing it on one side of your body.
Now, recover for 2 to 3 minutes before moving on to the next few exercises. These exercises are going to be done back to back. For these exercises, we're going to be working with a single plate. At the very beginning, I want you guys to just use a 5-pound plate. I know that's not very much, but you have to remember that you just did a whole bunch of other stuff before this, and these movements are deceptively hard. We're going to do these 3 plate movements as a circuit. First up, we've got a plate woodchopper circuit. You'll do 20 total back and forths following this X pattern. You want to keep the plate in the same relative position in front of your body, so that means you aren't reaching with your arms to twist, but moving from the waist. Next, move directly into the lunge and plate twist. The same rule about keeping the plate in the same relative position to your chest applies here, and make sure your torso is twisting toward the same side leg that is lunging. Control this movement. We're going to do 20 reps on each side. Last, we're going to do a plate raise to orbit. You'll raise it on one side, grab it with both hands with your arms extended in front of your chest. From here, you'll bend at the elbows, moving the plate around the back of your head before coming back to your arms being extended in front of you. Repeat the orbit in the other direction, and then lower the plate on the opposite arm you raised it with. That is 1 rep. Repeat the next rep by raising the arm you just lowered, and do orbits on both sides and lower it on the opposite arm. And we will do 20 reps of this exercise as well. As I said, you'll do these exercises back to back in a circuit for 3 sets. Don't rest between the exercises, but do rest 1 minute in between each circuit. I hope your grip isn't too dead, because the next thing we're going to do is 10 minutes of rope climbing. You're going to climb up and down a length of rope as many times as you can in this 10-minute period. Remember that you can use your legs, and if you're looking for more details on the rope climbing technique itself, you can check out the Guts Movement Standard video for a more in-depth conversation about all that. Focus on form here and be safe. It's okay if you aren't able to do many laps at the beginning. Your speed will increase as your endurance and technique improve. Before we get done with that rope though, we're going to do 50 inverted rope rows in as few sets as you can do them. At the beginning, either because of your general strength or your grip being fatigued, you may have to do this exercise mostly standing. But as you get stronger, you can make your body more parallel to the ground so that you're pulling a greater percentage of your body weight. Finally, we're going to end this workout with 100 sledgehammer swings to a tire or a log. Something low to the ground that you can hit with full force. We're going for as much power as you've got left in you to leave you completely spent. Rest as needed, because you definitely do not want to miss or have the hammer bounce off weird because you were too tired to swing the hammer. I know this says Guts daily routine, but when you're first starting off, I want you guys to only do this workout twice a week. Your grip is going to be completely destroyed at first, but over time, it'll start to feel easier. After a few weeks of this, you can move it up to 3 times a week. If you're doing other kinds of training, 3 times a week is the most I'd tell you guys to do for this workout. If you're looking to really be like Guts, we'll talk about advancing into what a full program would look like to become the Black Swordsman in the next Guts workout. For now though, consider this your homework so that you're ready for the next phase. Guts didn't start off slaying demons and monsters. He started by overcoming himself with a massive amount of training. And then also killing a lot of guys. Like a lot. Like so many. I don't know if anybody has a body count higher than Guts. It's a really big body count. Thank you so much for watching that video. It's been a long time in the making with all of the stuff that we've had to do. I want to go ahead and send out a shout out to Gary Brown for sending in his footage of doing all of the movement standards for Guts daily routine. Thank you so much for that. If you guys want to get in better shape, in the description there's a link to a free 3-day boot camp that can get you started on that journey. Go ahead, click it, get it. It's completely free. You won't be sorry. And that's all for this time, guys. Until next time, good luck and train hard.
And special thanks to these patrons who support Real Anime Training on Patreon.